What's up, everyone? Today I'm counting down 10 upcoming action games that I'm genuinely excited to play on Nintendo Switch in 2026. Some of these have exact dates, some are still to be announced, but all of them look like the kind of games I would actually spend my own time on. Let's get into it. Resident Evil Requiem is the kind of survival horror I start with the lights on and still get chills anyway. If Capcom keeps the tight pacing of the recent remakes but adds a brand new story, this could be my go-to late-night Switch game. I want that classic resource stress, creepy audio cues, and the moment where you swear something moved behind you. The best part is how Resident Evil usually gives you smart combat choices instead of mindless spraying. On Nintendo Switch, portable play makes every hallway feel even tighter. It drops February 27th, 2026, so I am already clearing space on my memory card and planning a headphone playthrough. I hope it uses quick chapters that fit a commute, but still gives boss fights that make you pause, breathe, and try again slowly. Nioh 3 coming to Switch feels wild because Team Ninja combat is fast and super technical. I love the stance swapping, the key pulse rhythm, and that feeling of turning a messy fight into a clean routine. If this one keeps the samurai plus yokai vibe and adds new weapons, I am going to sink way too many runs into it. The loot chase is half the fun, but the real hook is mastering a boss you thought was impossible. On a handheld, I can grind a mission, tweak my build, then jump back in without making it a whole evening. It launches February 6th, 2026, so it is basically my winter skill check. I just need stable frame rate and good controls and I am set. Bonus points if co-op is smooth because I want sessions. 007. First Light is my hope for a modern Bond game that actually nails the fantasy. I want gadgets that matter, stealth that feels slick, and shootouts that do not turn into boring cover camping. The best Bond moments are when you are improvising, talking your way into a party, then sneaking out with the intel. If the Switch version keeps those set pieces and runs clean, it could be a perfect couch game with friends watching. I am also crossing my fingers for a cool story that leans classy instead of edgy. It hits May 27th, 2026, which is right when I start craving a big summer action game. Give me a smart mission hub, replayable levels, and a killer theme song, and I am in. Online challenges would be awesome too, like infiltrations and escapes.
Hose. Grab the hose.
Lego Batman. Legacy of the Dark Knight is the one I play when I want pure comfort action. Lego games always feel like a Saturday morning cartoon, but with surprising depth if you chase the secrets. I am hoping this one pulls from a bunch of Batman eras with big Gotham levels, Batmobile moments, and loads of villains to swap between. The combat is simple, but the real fun is smashing everything, building goofy contraptions, and laughing at the cutscene jokes. On Switch, it is perfect for handheld co-op, especially if the performance stays smooth in busy areas. Releases May 29th, 2026, so it is right next to my Bond pick. If you have family or just want a chill action game, this is an easy buy. I want tons of costumes and side missions.
Lights out.
That's it. I'm heading to the mixing room.
Pragmata has been a mystery for so long that I am honestly excited just to finally play it. The whole vibe feels like lonely sci-fi, big space stations, and weird tech that does not explain itself right away. I am expecting a mix of shooting and puzzle hacking, especially with that little companion character always shown alongside the main hero. If the gameplay leans clever instead of just loud, it could be a standout on Switch too, like a bite-sized blockbuster you can actually finish. Capcom usually delivers polished action, so I am trusting them here. It is scheduled for April 24th, 2026, which makes it a perfect spring release before the summer rush. If the story lands and the world feels eerie, I can see this becoming a cult favorite. On lights low, done.
Any idea what the hell this is?
Never seen it before.
So it's not one of your bot buddies? Then I guess we can just go in blasting.
The Duskbloods is the one on this list that feels like pure mystery energy. All we know right now is it is aiming for 2026, and I am totally fine waiting if it means the combat and atmosphere are on point. The name alone screams dark fantasy. Maybe gothic streets, cursed castles, and enemies that do not care about your feelings. I am hoping for tight melee action, big boss fights, and that satisfying loop where you learn patterns and come back stronger. On Switch, a darker action game hits different when you are playing in bed with headphones, totally locked in. If the devs add smart difficulty options and clean performance, it could pull in both hardcore players and newcomers. Until we get a date, this is my keep an eye on it pick. More news soon.
The moon tears will flow for one.
Indiana Jones and the Great Circle is basically my dream movie game, because indie works best when you are mixing action with puzzles and exploration. I want to whip across gaps, dodge traps, and poke around ancient ruins until I find that one hidden door. What really sells it for me is the vibe, dusty temples, jungle paths, and that classic adventure music in your head. On Switch, this could be the perfect pick up and play treasure hunt, especially if the levels are chunked into clear chapters. It is listed for 2026 with the date still to be announced, but it is already high on my wish list. If the combat stays punchy and the puzzle solving stays clever, I can see this being one of the most fun action releases of the year. Wear the hat, please.
Not my first time. I know what I'm doing.
You must not learn the secret.
Why? Why are you...
Elden Ring Tarnished Edition on Switch is a big deal for me, mostly because that world is built for wandering. I love riding out, finding a weird cave, getting humbled by a random mini-boss, then coming back later and winning. The combat is tough but fair, and every build feels like your own story. A Switch version is perfect for short bursts, clear a dungeon, grab a weapon, close the system, and pick up later. It is marked for 2026 with the date to be announced, so I'm curious what is inside this edition. Maybe bundled content and quality of life tweaks. The main thing I want is solid performance and readable UI on handheld. If those land, this becomes an anytime epic. Just remember, the first death is basically the tutorial, and that is fine. Splatoon Raiders sounds like Nintendo letting the Splatoon universe go a little wilder, and I am here for it. Splatoon is already one of my favorite competitive games on Switch, but I always wanted more story stuff, more weird places, and more reasons to mess with different weapon kits. If Raiders is a fresh spin, maybe co-op missions or a bigger adventure mode, it could pull in people who never touch ranked. The movement and ink mechanics are just too fun to keep locked in short matches. With a 2026 window and the date to be announced, I am mostly hoping it keeps that buttery smooth feel at 60 frames. Give me new maps, new specials, and a soundtrack that sticks in my head for weeks. If it has raid bosses, my friend group will live there. Borderlands 4 on Switch is all about one thing for me: co-op chaos. I have played these games with friends for years, and nothing beats kicking open a door, dumping a magazine, and seeing loot explode everywhere. The writing is usually goofy, but the gun variety keeps me hooked, because every hour you find something that changes how you play. If Borderlands 4 keeps the slick movement and adds even crazier builds, it could be a great portable grind game. It lands February 27th, 2026, same day as Resident Evil Requiem, which is honestly rude to my free time. I am hoping the Switch version supports crossplay and has snappy load times, because this series lives or dies on pacing. If it runs well, I can hear my squad arguing about who gets the drop. Alright, that's my top 10 for upcoming Switch action in 2026. Tell me which one you're buying day one and which one you're waiting to see reviews for. I'll be keeping an eye on all the release date updates, especially the ones still listed as to be announced. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.